Hi guys, and welcome to another Bootstrap video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, in the last few videos we've been demonstrating some Bootstrap hover effects, pretty easy to do with a bit of CSS. In our last one we demonstrated this image hover zoom in, and we're swapping one image for another right there. In this video today we're going to do the same thing but with a zoom out. And again, really easy to do. So let's get started. For expediency, I'm going to start with just a blank fading image right here, and you can download these project files from a link below this video if you want to follow along using this actual template. So this is what you'll download if you download the file. If not, create your own obviously. And if you don't have a text editor, I'm using the free brackets text editor today. You can download that free text editor from a link below the video also. Okay, so I'm going to open my index.html file with my text editor brackets. And if we go down, here's our little row with the fade that we started before. So I'm just going to copy it, drop down, and I'm going to paste it below. You don't have to, you can work on the existing row if you want to. And I'm going to take away the IHV class that we created to make it hover. So we've got no hover class in there, we've just got columns with the image behind and a div with an image inside. Okay, let's save this and see what we've got. Control S to save. Back to our site. When I refresh, we should now have a duplicate down below. And there we go. As you can see, we've got two of them now. The reason the images are different and nothing happens when we hover on these because we've taken that class away, is because we're now looking at the image that's on top. Whereas with the one at the top, we're looking at the image that's underneath on the column background there. Okay, so let's make this work. Let's go into our brackets text editor. And the first thing I want to do is create a new class for our image, the one that's on top, so we can make it zoom out. And I'm going to call it IZO for image zoom out. Call yours what you want, just so you can remember what it is. I'll make sure it's unique. Okay, so we've created that class of image zoom out. What do we want it to do? Well, we want it, when the mouse is not on it, we want it to be invisible, and when the mouse is on it, it wants to be visible. But we also want it to start off big and end up regular size. So let's create our class and take care of business. So I'm going to go down, there's our column background, that's dictating what image is in the background of our columns. I'll go down just below here, I'll give it a title, / ***, anything between the stars will not be read as code. Okay. And it was a class called IZO for image zoom out. Class always has a period or dot first. IZO. Let's open and close some curly brackets. And within there is where we're going to put our code. Okay, so it wants to be invisible when we're not hovering over it. So we just see the background image that's in the column. So that'll be opacity. And I'll put this CSS down below too, so you don't have to copy it while I'm writing it. Opacity 0, which is invisible, semicolon. Always put a semicolon after your code. If you don't, it will not read the next line if you have a next line. Okay, and when it goes from transparent to fully visible, how long do we want it to take? Well, I'm going to get mine to take sort of 1.5 seconds. It's a bit long, but it makes it kind of dramatic. Obviously you can put in exactly what you want to put in. So I'm going to say transition, duration, colon, and about a second and a quarter. Like I say, that's quite a long time, but you put in exactly what you like. 1.25 seconds. Great. What else did we want it to do? Well, we want it to be initially really big, so I'm going to scale it. I'll say transform scale, colon, scale, no gap, and then we want to scale it. I'll say I'll make it about 1 3/4 size, so that'd be 1.75 wide, comma, by 1.75 high, no comma after the second entry there. We'll put a semicolon because I might want to add another line of code here. Now what I'm going to do is set the actual hover state, because that's the actual regular state for that IZO that we created. Let's copy it, paste it underneath. Just after the O of IZO with no gap, I'm going to put a colon and no gap again, and the word hover, H-O-V-E-R. Make sure you've got no gaps there or it won't work. Don't need the transition duration because we've already set that, nothing's changing there. But the scale, I'm going to set that back to 1. And of course we actually want to be able to see this time. So let's put that opacity to 1, which is fully visible. 0.25 would be quarter visible, 0.5 half visible, etc. You can do 0.1234, etc. Okay, if we've done this correctly, there's our IZO class that we gave to our image that's on top, IZO. If we've done this all correctly now, when we save, Control S and go back, when I refresh this page, we shouldn't see this image anymore. It should be the Tower Bridge up there. And when we zoom, it should scale out. So let's refresh. It's a good sign. Our Tower Bridge is there. There we go. It's doing exactly what we want it to do, but I don't want it to be spilling outside of the area of our background image. So to do that, I can go into the column where that Tower Bridge image is, and I can add a bit of CSS, and I can say Overflow hidden. So let's do that. Let's create a new class. So let's go back in here and we'll create a new class to hide that. And we'll call it, it's a class, so we want a period in front of it, and we'll call it Overflow hidden, which is, we'll call it OH for simplicity. Open and close some curlies. And let's write a little bit of CSS, and all we're going to write is Overflow, colon, hidden. I'll put a semicolon in there. I might want to add some more to it. But we can apply this class now to anything and hide any overflow that occurs there. So we got that. Now we need to apply it to where we want to apply it, which is to our image, which is zooming in there. So we'll, this div that the image is in, let's apply it to that IM1 class of Overflow hidden. And I'll leave off this next one and you'll see the difference. Let's save that, Control S, back to the site. Let's refresh now. Before we refresh, we can see what's going on there. Now, as you can see, when we refresh, it's contained within that image, or the div that that image is in. Whereas if we do this one, it's still scaling like that, which is a great effect, especially if you want to zoom out and make things larger and stuff. But we don't today, so we can simply fix it again by just applying that class to the div that that image is in. IM2, let's give it the class of OH for Overflow hidden. Save our changes, back to the site. There we go. Now both of our images are zooming out. Nice little effect to have on your site. So I hope you've enjoyed that and found it useful. If you have, please ring the bell, give it a thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.